everyone, a very warm welcome to our another YouTube session. I really hope that you guys are doing well. Alright, so in the last video I had discussed with you the Governor Generals of Bengal. Now you all know that after the revolt of 1857, we did not have Governor Generals and the office was changed to Viceroy, right? But at the same time, we have had a number of Governor Generals in India, and that is exactly what we'll be discussing today. We'll be taking a look at the Governor Generals, their duration, their contributions, the events which have transpired during their rule, etc. So that is what we'll take a look at. Okay, let's start. All right, so the first Governor General of India that we'll be taking a look at is Lord William Bentinck. All right, now you all know him because he was the one who had passed the law for abolishing sati. So he was, his tenure was from 1828 to 35, quite long, as we can say. Okay. What were the events that have taken place during his rule? First of all, he was known as the father of modern Western education in India. As I told you, he is also responsible for abolition of sati. He also banned female infanticide 1829. Please remember the dates. He also was responsible for suppression of thugs 1829-35. Military operations were led by William Sleeman 1830. He annexed Mysore in 1831, Coorg 1834, Central Chhattisgarh in 1834, and on the charge of misgovernance. Okay, so all these areas were annexed on the basis of what? On the basis of misgovernance. Okay. Then he also created the province of Agra 1834. Macloy's Minutes on Education was also done during his rule. English was made the official language of India. So Persian was removed and English was made the official language. Abolition of the provincial court and the court of appeal and circuit court was set up by Cornwallis. All this is happening during whose reign? All this is happening during Lord William Bentinck. Appointment of commissioners commissioners of circuit and revenue, concluded the treaty of perpetual friendship with Ranjit Singh. So all of these events have taken place during whose tenure? All of this has taken place during the tenure of Lord William Bentinck. Okay, all right. Yes. Now, the next one that we have is Charles Metcalfe. He was there from 35 to 36 for 1 year only, and he passed the famous press law which freed Indian press from all kinds of restrictions. So initially, Indian press had a lot of restriction imposed on them. Whatever they published had to be ratified by the British government first. Before that, it could not be published, but then here, he had passed the Press Act and which had freed the Indians from any kind of press restriction. Okay. Next, we have Lord Auckland. He was the Governor General from 36 to 42, and the first Afghan war has taken place during his tenure. Okay. Then we have the next Governor General, that is Edward Law. He was the Earl of Ellenborough as well. Now, this is a position which you hold when you are a member of the royalty in Britain. So he was there from 1842 to 44 for 2 years only. So what has he done? Termination of the first Afghan wars. He has terminated them. He has also caused the annexation of Sindh. Sorry, it happened in his tenure. War with Gwalior happened in his tenure, and abolition of slavery in India in the year 1844. This has also happened in his tenure. Then we have Lord Henry Hardinge. He was from 1844 to 48. The first Sikh war has taken place 1845 to 46. The Treaty of Lahore 1846, which ended the Sikh sovereignty of India. So please see that here there was a treaty which was signed of perpetual friendship with Ranjit Singh, and here they have ended the Sikh sovereignty. Okay. Here he is also prohibited female infanticide and human sacrifice among the Gonds. So all this has been prohibited During whom? During Lord Hardinge. The next one that we have is Lord Dalhousie, and you all know that he has done the most, isn't it? Some of them were contributions to India, some of them were not, but yes, he has done the most. He was here from 1848 to 56, quite long. He abolished pensions and titles. The Second Anglo-Sikh War happened. Annexation of Punjab 1849. Application of the doctrine of lapse, and which areas were taken because of doctrine of lapse. So we have Satara, Jaitpur and Sambhalpur, Bhagat, Udaipur, Jhansi and Nagpur. These were the areas which were annexed under what? Under the pretext of doctrine of lapse. The Second Burmese War happened, annexation of Berar, the Charter Acts of 1853, introduction of railways between Bombay and Thane. This was the first line of railway. Okay, there are a lot more contributions that he has up his sleeves. Then he also established the telegraph between Calcutta and Agra 1853, the postal system in 1853, recruitment of civil service by competitive examinations in 1853. So initially civil services were not competitive, they were recommended, right? So the board of members of the English East India Company would be recommending the members who would be becoming members of the civil services. Wood's Dispatch, which is related to education, 1854. Widow Remarriage Act, 1856. Santhal Uprising, 1855-56. Annexation of Awadh, 1856. Introduced the bond regulation system, centralized control system in newly acquired territories. So all of these newly acquired territories, they obviously needed to be controlled, isn't it? You have to have control over them. What if they rebel? So he introduced what is known as bond regulation and had a centralized control over them. So these areas were not governed by the locals. These areas were governed by the central. Okay. Okay. And lastly, he also founded the Public Works Department, PWD, which still continues. He raised the Gorkha Regiment. Okay. And Shimla was made the summer capital of British India. So these are some of his contributions that we have discussed. I think you can see that he has the longest list of important events which have taken place during his tenure, isn't it? So these are list of a few governor generals in India that we have discussed. We have discussed their tenure, we have discussed the events, we have discussed whatever their contributions have been, right? You must remember these dates as well, okay? Now, this is not the end of the list of governor generals. We have more to come. So, there will be more videos like this, the governor generals of India, part 1, part 2, part 3, like that. So, we'll be covering all the governor generals. So, just in case you have a question, you will have it all in one place. Now, what are the things that you should remember from here? You have to remember the tenure. You have to remember the important events which have taken place. Fine. You also have to remember the dates of important events. That is very important, okay? So remember what? The tenure, okay, of the Governor General, fine. Whatever important events that have taken place, what are the dates of the important events, okay? And also, I think you should remember the significance of it, okay? Now, the significance will help you in understanding the other aspects as well, okay? See, now exam is not just about the governor generals, right? Exam is much more. So, you'll be able to remember much more if you understand the significance as well. So, when you're referring to an event, try to remember all the details also regarding that event, okay? Alright guys, so that's it for today's video, but there will be more parts to this video where we'll be talking about more Governor Generals, because we've just covered till 1856. We have a long way to go. We'll have Viceroys also that we will be covering. Alright, so I really hope that you've enjoyed this video. I really hope that this was useful for you, and that is why I have put everything in a tabular format, so that whenever you are revising, you can just flip through the pages and you can revise, or you can just flip through the videos and you will be able to revise, and you will have all the information at one place. That's my whole idea, to prepare you for your exam in the easiest manner possible. All right. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope you found this useful. If you still have any doubts, any difficulties, please feel free to address them in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to take it up with you all. So thank you so much for joining me here. It was an absolute pleasure. This is me, Nikki Sinha, signing off. I'll see you in another video. Take care. Bye-bye.